Discussing the topic of Nanami versus Hanami. Well, right, I don't specifically scale either of these two characters. I'll just be giving scaling for the two of them that puts one above the other. And you can just argue about it like whatever you want on Discord or whatever. Use this argument, right? So Nanami is stated to be relative to Yuji, right? In the Shibuya arc, right? Shibuya Yuji is relative. She should be above Goodwill Yuji. Because we know Yuji evolves as he fights, right? So Shibuya Yuji will just be a more evolved version of Yuji, right? And Goodwill Yuji scales to relative to Hanami. So it'd be Nanami relative to Shibuya Yuji above Goodwill Yuji relative to Hanami. But like the problem with that is now I'm going to be getting into like Hanami scaling, right? As we know, Hanami is the plant guy who was going to use the main expansion against Todo and Yuji, but like unfortunately got cut off by Gojo. Though I would like to see the main expansion in work, right? So we know that the statement for Nanami is in reference to AP, not speed. So he would only scale like to Shibuya Yuji in AP, right? And like Hanami should scale above Hanami should, like being relative to Goodwill Yuji doesn't really matter, right? He can evolve, right, as he fights, but that doesn't mean his AP necessarily gets higher. That can just mean he does moves he wouldn't have done before, as shown in the scan there. It never indicates anything about AP, right? So that would just be Hanami relative to Goodwill Yuji. Goodwill Yuji, right, should scale to Shibuya Yuji. Also no, Goodwill Yuji should scale, right, above the one that fought Mahito in the first fight. And the one that fought Mahito in the first fight, obviously relative to Mahito, right? And Mahito is able to tag Hanami, blitz him. I think they are pretty relative, right? And scaling chain will just go Hanami relative to Goodwill Yuji above Mahito fight Yuji, Mahito fight Yuji relative to Nanami. So even if you get them relative in stats, Hanami still wins off hacks, right? So yeah, that's just it. If you can debate with this scaling, and if you get your arguments debunked, to GG.